Hey friends! This is my first video for my new place and I'm so excited to be here. I have this beautiful natural lighting just coming in through the windows and I love it. Before I start with my video, I wanted to mention something. I've never been properly diagnosed by an expert in terms of my anxiety and depression. There are many reasons why. I was a person of color who was an illegal immigrant, and mental illness is very much stigmatized still, especially within the Hispanic community or people of color in general. So I felt like it was up to me to get better. I felt like I didn't deserve help. I felt like I couldn't afford it. So if you can afford it, if you can get help, get some help, get some guidance. It won't hurt you. Trust me. I wish I would have had the chance to get help. But instead, I went through a whole lot. I struggled a lot by myself. I made a lot of mistakes. And it all led me to now, which I still can't regret. I have to be proud of the person that I am regardless, and be proud of what I've been through. But now moving forward. It's really interesting that unless we're dying, nobody believes mental illness is a thing. Unless like you're having an actual panic attack and you're crying, nobody believes you're anxious, Unless like you're losing your job, your friends, and you're stuck to a bed, nobody believes you're depressed. And that's really messed up because mental illness is not like other illnesses. There's a trusting factor here. You have to believe the person, and we're not good at trusting each other. So I think that's another issue as well, and entirely separate from this. But that's not true. Just because we're not visually suffering, it doesn't mean that we are not. It's hard. It's hard to believe it, but it's true. And I saw this meme the other day that kind of inspired part of this video. The meme said something like, for a lot of you that happen to be depressed and anxious, you're doing really good during this quarantine. That was kind of the meme. And in my head, I'm like, so you're basically judging people because they're doing okay during quarantine, saying they must not be suffering any mental illness if they're able to like work out every day. You must not be going through it. You can work out every day. You must be okay. And this girl was younger, so I can understand why she can't perceive why that is wrong. I think the older you get, the more you understand mental illness and how it can affect you in ways that you can't even explain with words. And how hard it is to get people to understand who have never experienced it themselves. And even some that have experienced it. Because we all experience mental illness at different degrees. And that's another thing that we have to respect. Mental illness doesn't look the same on everyone. It is a complex thing that requires some level of trust and openness to communicate with somebody else. So, let's open up our minds about this a little bit more, because as someone who has learned to live with her anxiety and her depression, I can tell you that it's been 10 years of conscious effort to gain strategies and grow. But it still shows up in my life. And sometimes it shows up in my life in the worst moments. And as an adult who has to pay bills, because otherwise no one will, I had to learn to suck it up and move forward anyway. The quote, feel the fear and do it anyway. This is something that as an anxious person, you have to learn how to do as you get older. Because you're not gonna have people to fall back on the time. So you gotta step it up. I'm gonna tell you about some of my biggest anxieties. I have this anxiety where I believe like I'm bothering people all the time. All the time. Like I feel like I'm not worthy of like reaching out to people that I wanna like connect with. I feel like I'm not worthy of like asking my significant other for a favor. My significant other that I live with, that loves me. You know what I'm saying? And although I feel these things, I tell myself, it isn't who I am, and I move forward anyway. Another one of my anxieties, I feel like, and I think that's kind of attached to the first one that I said, I feel that I'm not worthy of anything. I feel like I don't deserve great things in life. I feel like I'm meant to be like this mediocre person struggling in poverty, lack of abundance forever. And it's because this has been happening to me since I was a teenager. You know, I actually was like that when I was a teenager, when I was growing up. And that stayed with me now as an adult, when I'm okay and I have a job and I'm paying my bills, you know? But that's stuck. That feeling of unworthiness. And it's something I continue to battle with every day, you know? I also feel like everyone's out to get me and nobody likes me. It sucks. I know it's not true, but you can't take it away by telling me, Carolina, no, I love you. Like, you shouldn't think that. You can't take mental illness away by putting a Band-Aid on it with your words. You can't. So yes, I know that that's not true, but I still feel it. And while I'm feeling it, I still move forward anyway, and I do the things that I have to do. Because for you to survive this, you have to get brave. I hated working. It wasn't until I became a personal trainer that I started to like going to work a little bit more. At the beginning, it was like a 0.2. Now it's up to like 0.7 out of a whole. I still struggle. I'm currently working from home and I'm struggling to do that. And I know a lot of you are too. But my job isn't hard. I have to make like a video of exercises that I love doing and it takes me like 30 minutes. It's really not that hard. Still, I feel no motivation, no energy to get out of bed and do anything. I feel like, what's the point? And I have this here. And it doesn't go away. But I know better. And that's not who I am. So I do my work anyway. Are you guys catching my drift? You gotta learn how to feel all these things and still do your life. And still be present and still show up for yourself, for people. And then when you can't, you gotta know how to tell them, listen, right now I can't do this because I feel this way. And if you don't understand me, that's okay. But I can't do it right now. Be patient. You gotta learn how to feel those things and move forward. Be brave. Exercise courage as much as you can every day of your life. Sometimes anxiety feels like you're just full of everything, that the world is so heavy, you know? And you gotta take some time to kind of like step back. Take a deep breath. Meditate. When it comes to depression, it feels like you're empty. It feels like you don't feel anything. And it's not true. It's not who you really are. You're human. You can do this. But you have to be brave. You have to exercise the motion that you want in your life. Stillness, it's only good when you're meditating. And you guys know what I mean with that, because it can easily be confused with like, you know, the stillness of depression, which you don't feel like doing anything because of the tremendous lack of emotional energy. But my conclusion of all this is, guys, be brave. And if people don't understand you, try to educate them. But if they don't listen, move forward anyway, because you gotta refocus on yourself and on surviving another day and reminding yourself that you're not your anxiety, you're not your depression, you are much bigger than all of them. And I love you so much. I hope the best for you. Thank you for watching.